I really didn't know it until I got behind it and drove it. And shoot, there's nothing like taking a car on a highway and going around a clover leaf and feeling that the car doesn't slip and it hugs the road. That kind of appeals to your sense of wow. That's how I selected the car, or more appropriately, the car selected me. This car matters to me because it was my brother's idea. My brother Dean died in 1991, and one of the last things that we spoke about was being alive and what being alive was. And his version of that was being in a red convertible with the top down, your hair blown back, and you're screaming out to a Bruce Springsteen song. It took me a few years to find a car that kind of, whether it reminded me of him or whether it made me feel good enough to reflect upon that memory. Of course, I want to make it look good because, number one, it's a possession, but I liked it looking good because it reminds me of my brother. And I love my brother. It's a way to keep one of the last conversations that we ever had alive. This was something that my brother always wanted because of that little flair that he had for being in the lead, because he liked driving fast. And one thing about my brother was he always liked looking good, and he always had that pride of himself and his family. Everything always comes back to family. My business is a family-owned business. Phil and Tina's business is obviously family-owned. What I really like is when I come into their store, and I've been coming in for several years now, is the staff treating you as an extension of their friends, or with Phil and Tina, a little bit more from the family love. If you want to keep your vehicles, if you want to keep your trucks, if you want to keep your cars looking good, then I would recommend coming to Majestic Solutions. And not just buying the product, but learning how to use that product. The training program for using their products if you have a detailing business, or their training program because you want to know how to keep your products looking good and what products to use. What I would want people to know, whether it's about my brother or whether it's about my car, is the pride and family. My brother wouldn't have been a big diesel. My brother was a Porsche.